Hello, everybody. New month, new tier list, where I rank all the movies, shows, books, and games that I watched, read, or played the month of October. Let's jump right into it.
Psycho, take a beat.
Play Dirty is a painfully generic heist crime movie that doesn't do a single unique thing. Everything done here has been done before in another film. It's a worse version of Shane Black's better film, The Nice Guys, in almost every way. The writing is incredibly uninteresting, and it doesn't help that the acting is mostly subpar from everyone involved. The acting never really draws you into these characters, and it really felt like I was just trying to watch people act instead of watching characters, outside of a few actors who did good. That might be because the characters are so painfully dull and have nothing interesting going on, especially the side characters. The comedy never lands, and every attempt either makes me cringe or stare motionless at the screen. The action is okay, but it's often ruined by weird CGI at times. Even if the CGI was perfect though, it's not inspired enough to go anywhere past just okay. The ending does at least try something, but the fact that I literally don't care about these characters or know a single one of their names makes it meaningless to me. I will admit I laughed when Mark Cuban got murdered. It reminded me of when that Property brother died in Love Hurts, a slightly better film than this. I'm putting Played Dirty in bad tier. 4 out of 10.
You're quite right. You'd be of great use to us.
Star Wars Dark Force Rising holds up very well to the original Star Wars trilogy. It and its predecessor feel like a nice continuation of that story, while expanding it and making it feel unique. The returning characters all feel like their movie counterparts and don't feel mischaracterized. The new characters are fun and interesting inclusions that add a lot of depth, especially Mara Jade, who has a complicated history that I won't spoil, but it makes her choices, interactions, and inner dialogue very interesting and fun to read. Thrawn is good here and feels very menacing in a smart 10 steps ahead of everyone way. I don't think his battle or war intelligence is as well done here as in the Thrawn group of books, but maybe that's just because he's not the pure focus here as he is with that series. The big reveal at the end of Thrawn's plan is good. It feels natural and makes sense while also being surprising. If you love Star Wars, I'm positive you would enjoy reading this series, even though it's no longer canon. I'm putting Star Wars Dark Force Rising in great tier. 8 out of 10.
Benny Safdie has done it again. He's taken an actor seen as boring because they exclusively play the same character in every movie, and shown that they have the capabilities of an Oscar-worthy performance. Previously, he accomplished that with Adam Sandler of all people, and this time, his victim was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who has finally proven he's more than a big, strong man archetype, by starring in a movie where he plays a big, strong man. Wait, it's different though, as the character is more and deeper than just that. The character, since he's based on a real person, has intense character development and emotional moments. For the first time ever in The Rock's career, I forgot that I was watching The Rock and actually purely saw him as his character for the majority of the film. I truly think that's the highest achievement an actor can accomplish. Beyond Dwayne Johnson though, the film is interesting and well shot. I think the cinematography is very well done here and works in a way where it feels like we're truly peering into this guy's life. Mark Kerr's struggle with addiction is probably the best part of the story. You really want to root for the guy, and someone even clapped when he threw his drugs away. This movie is also really intense, but not where you expect. The intensity and suspense don't come from his fights in the arena, but rather from his home life and his struggle with addiction. The music even intensifies at these seemingly normal moments too, causing your heart to race, because the film knows these moments were Kerr's true battles. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat during one particular scene towards the end with Dwayne Johnson's and Emily Blunt's characters. Speaking of which, Emily Blunt and Ryan Bader are excellent supporting cast members here too, and help to carry Dwayne Johnson's performance. I hope Dwayne Johnson manages to show off more of his acting skills and can continue to be more than just the stoic action guy. I'm putting The Smashing Machine and great tier, below Dark Force Rising. 8 out of 10.
have a full review for Sonic Racing Crossworlds, which you can find here on my channel. So I won't go into too much detail here. It's a great racing game that never feels repetitive despite the hours I have spent playing with it. The courses are all well designed, and the roadmap for future content will keep me coming back for more. I am putting Sonic Racing Crossworlds at the top of grade tier. 8 out of 10.
Ready for the next adventure, pal?
Peacemaker Season 2 is an interesting case. The heart and soul from the first season return, but it doesn't feel as consistent as it once was. There are a lot of really small things weighing it down to make it slightly weaker than Season 1. Peacemaker and Harcourt's relationship is a big example of that. The love chemistry between these two is just not there for me. I think you can even see that in the actors too, because many of the scenes showing them in love with each other or dating feel noticeably bad, fake acting, and forced. They don't feel as natural as the non-romantic dialogue between these two characters. And I honestly just don't buy these two ever being in love and starting a relationship to begin with. I think that, combined with my opinions on Rick Flag Sr., is what makes the final episode, in particular, kind of a letdown. I think the emotion with Chris and the rest of the 11th Street kids is great, and I really feel like this is one big family that is looking out for each other and wants to help each other through the tough times emotionally. All these characters bonding, being furthered in this season, feels natural, outside of that love plot between those two I mentioned earlier. Rick Flag is a weird case. On one hand, I see he's meant to be sort of a mirror to the Nazi world. He shows how our government/military officials are basically just one step away from becoming Nazi fascists who want concentration camps to put people in. I think that's a great arc to show, but I just think it feels a bit rushed when it comes to Rick Flag. I know he wasn't a perfect guy to begin with, and that his love for his son is probably blinding him here. But I think just a few extra scenes where we see Lex Luthor or his goons manipulating him into going full open crazy evil would both help the short runtime of some of the episodes and help make Rick Flag's dive into fascism seem more fluid. The Nazi world is a great little subplot and an interesting mirror to our real world, as the show points out. Augie Smith's characterization in this world, in particular, is interesting. His outfit has switched from red to blue, which I think could very well be deliberate symbolism of a switch from a racist Republican in the main Earth to a liberal Democrat in the Nazi Earth. It does not put this in a good light either, showcasing how many liberals often claim to be against Nazism and fascism, but don't use any of their abilities or powers to actually stop it, and essentially just accept it as law, much like the White Dragon does here. It's a really interesting characterization that I think shows James Gunn still has that magic, deeper meaning touch when it comes to hero films and shows, even if it feels a bit buried sometimes, ever since he's become full CEO. The new cast members are good too, outside of Rick Flag Sr. feeling a little weak at times. Tim Meadows is so charismatic that his character's dumb bird blindness joke just stays funny long past the time it has any right to. And his switch to being against the government comes out of nowhere, but I literally do not care because I just love that character and wanted him there with the good guys. I think the cameos we get, being Lex, his coons, Rick Flag Jr., and some of the Justice Gang, are all natural and just the right amount of fan service without feeling like it doesn't make sense. Even though I think Season 1 is stronger as a whole, I still think this is a well-made season that belongs in great tier. I'll put it below Sonic Racing Crossworlds. 8 out of 10.
You guys okay? Mother? Yeah?
This movie's pretty interesting. It markets itself as a comedy that feels relatively generic with an interesting premise. But the film itself goes for a much darker comedy than the trailers let on. I think that's for the best, as these emotional moments the film provides are surprisingly strong. Channing Tatum's character is incredibly tragic, as he's not really bad, but also he is. It's really hard to explain, but he really just wants to help out and do good deeds because he feels the need to always provide for people. But he does that through not the best means. He tries to make up for the mistakes he's made, but I don't know. Even by the end, with the reveal that he tried to break out 2 more times after saying he no longer would, it just feels like he didn't really learn anything. Based on what's in the film, I truly don't think he's a terrible person. I think maybe he needs some therapy and help, but he shouldn't spend the rest of his life in prison. I also can't help but point out that if this man were any form of minority, like black, I don't think we'd ever get a film painting him in this kind of tragic, not bad person light. That's nothing to do with the quality of this film, and that's just me being the needlessly woke person I am, but I felt the need to point it out. Anyway, the comedy isn't the strongest, and I didn't laugh too much and was mostly just vibing with the emotional acting. It's well acted by everyone involved, especially Channing Tatum, who has to play this emotionally tragic character. Unlike his past character, Magical Michael, he's now Tragical Michael. I'm putting Roofman in meh tier. 6 out of 10.
Can't wait to find a grade A, prime cut piece of to love.
Always Sunny remains incredibly funny. You always expect it to degrade and become unfunny eventually, especially after so many seasons, but I still don't think there's been a season I'd consider bad yet. It may not peak as high as it once did, but it's still an incredible comedy. It's one of those comedies that makes its main characters stupid and bad people to make fun of people like them, but this is one of the times I find that trope funny and well played out. This season, I'd say the best episode was The Gang Gets Ready for Primetime. This season has sort of connected episodes going on in the last 3 episodes, where they set up and eventually commit to having Frank on the Golden Bachelor to find a new partner. I like this little connection, and it explains why Danny DeVito is absent from a majority of the episodes. It leads to incredibly funny bits, especially in that episode I named earlier. The finale also ends on a surprisingly happy romantic note. Danny DeVito actually ends up with a nice woman, and they're good for each other as he evolves as a character to be more than just a guy who wants sex. Their chemistry was good together, and I like the slow build-up to him realizing he may have actually fallen in love. We also get a great tribute to Lynn Marie Stewart, who played Charlie's mom. A great tribute in the end that highlighted many of her funny moments and showed she was a great comedic actress. Rest in peace. Always Sunny in Philadelphia Season 17 is going in great tier, in front of Peacemaker. 8 out of 10.
Nobody messes with Police Squad.
Then I rewatched The Naked Gun 2025, and yeah, I still think this is incredibly funny. The humor is the kind of stupid comedy that makes you go, oh my god, and hide your face in embarrassment, and I love that type of comedy. It has been quite some time since a straight comedy-only movie had me laughing like that. Popstar Never Stop Stopping was the most recent one I could think of that came close to this level. It just keeps punching you in the balls with laughable moments, and even when one fails, you don't have time to sit on it, as another hilarious joke has already punched your balls. Nothing in this movie makes any damn sense, and side comedy skits get more attention than the actual plot. But that's perfect to me, and literally the point of this movie. I'm putting The Naked Gun in great tier, above Peacemaker. 8 out of 10.
You're smoking cigarettes now? Leave me alone, Jeff. I like it. It's all I have.
Good Fortune is a fun little comedy that doesn't overstay its welcome. It's mostly carried by Seth Rogen and Keanu Reeves being an incredibly funny duo together. Like, just having the guy who played John Wick saying "chicky nuggies" is enough to both justify this film's entire existence and make me want to keep living. There is heart in this film and a message, but I think that aspect could be a lot stronger, and the pacing feels off at times, even with a short runtime. I don't think it's bad though, and it got plenty of laughs from me, especially when we got to the point of Keanu Reeves and Seth Rogen sleeping together. Honestly, the movie feels really slow up until that point, both in terms of the comedy, at least what I found funny, and pacing. But after that, it's smooth selling of good jokes. Not much else to say, so Good Fortune is going in good tier. 7 out of 10.
Pac-Man World 2, Re-Pac.
I also have a full review for this game up, so go check that out for my full thoughts. A terrific remake that really feels like it proves it needs to exist beyond just being a modern way to replay the game. It adds tons of new content, all while keeping a very reasonable price tag that many other companies failed to deliver on with their remakes. I'm so glad that the pack has never been more back. Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac is going in great tier, below Peacemaker. 8 out of 10. I have a podcast out where I talk about this movie, so go check that out for more in-depth thoughts. I'm just going to use this for quick, immediate thoughts. Great movie.
I was looking forward to more of the Chainsaw Man anime as I have been loving reading the manga. I just love how they're able to take an admittedly funny concept of a chainsaw man and create this thematically deep story that can bring you to tears. This movie improves on season 1 in many ways, especially in the animation. This movie is so gorgeous, and the use of colors is immaculate and able to make every intense fight scene feel unique in its own way. I love the use of Reze to further show how Denji is being manipulated by practically everyone in his life. And that subtle hint at it when Reze and Denji first hang out with the spider trapping the butterfly is just the right amount of metaphorical foreshadowing without it coming off as cheesy. I hate how quickly people online are to call him a pervert, since he's really not and is being manipulated by all these older women in his life. He's literally only 16 and has never experienced any form of love or friendship or connection at all. So all of this sudden good attention and care he's never gotten before create way too big emotions in him. I get the concern, since a lot of anime have these gross perverted scenes, for some reason, that they play off as jokes or even cool moments, but this show isn't one of those. Chainsaw Man, the movie, Reze arc, is going at the top of great tier. 9 out of 10.
We're all going to hell.
I honestly don't know what to really say about this. It's one of those shows that doesn't feel like I'd like it at all, but I keep coming back for some reason each season. Not like out of loyalty or anything, I just enjoy the characters. The story is usually not that interesting, nor is the mystery super compelling, but the 3 leads just have some surprisingly good chemistry, despite Selena being way younger than Steve Martin and Martin Short. I think this season's pieces coming together in the finale is one of the strongest ones in the show, but I also think this season as a whole might be the weakest. Still gets a good amount of chuckles out of me, and I'm still going to come back next season for more. Those bitches need to move though, cause that's way too many murders for one building. Like, there's a solid chance you're gonna be next, so I'd be out of there. I'm putting Only Murders in the Building Season 5 in good tier. 7 out of 10.
And that's all I did this month. What did you do this month? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss another video. And we'll be back next month with November, the greatest month of all time. It does have the Freebirds month. It's the Freebirds month next month, so yes, the greatest month of all time. I'm right. Thanks for watching.